So let's head into intelligence right away.
Yeah.
We could send, like here you can send spies to whichever country you want, and increasing, send spy priority or what they should do. Like counter espionage, military espionage, tech espionage, and so on and so forth.
How many spies do we have? Is it 4 only, or just 4 that
we
can
have
be sent
one free
to...
space. We have one free spies right now.
Okay.
But we will get more, from leadership,
Right,
because they
free
produce spies, overall. Right now we have 4
Jesus.
spies in United Kingdom.
Active spies abroad, 133.
Is that you?
Oh.
Who has that?
We.
Oh, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, until we have a supply of spies, and since we're just gonna build up, we're probably gonna send all, because you see active domestic spies, and you have you can send priority. But right now I set the priority to max for active domestic spies, and then also increase national unity and counter-espionage, because that will increase our national unity over time, and counter-espionage will make sure that enemy spies get neutralized, so we should be fairly safe. And that's pretty much all you need to do here. I mean, you could completely ignore the intelligence tree all you want, with the exception of the whole national unity thing, which is very useful. But you can do you can do certain things, like for example, you can go to the United States and make sure to support our party, which is the German-American National Bund or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. America's First Committee. Where is it? Come on.
How can you view their parties? I'm just
if you go into
United States, I see
in,
Republican Party. Yeah, America's First Committee.
I can find it. There's supposed to be like the German American National or something like that. Yeah, it is there somewhere. So it doesn't have any popularity whatsoever, or maybe it hasn't really popped up yet.
Tea Party movement. No.
Yeah. So right now, we should move on to the armies really, and see what we want to do right now, because at the start of a Hearts of Iron 3 game, the army is always in a disarray because it's so badly organized from the AI that you kind of need to do a full reformation and things like that. So right now we should...
We're on the map.
Yep, we're on the map, and we have 2 theaters or headquarters. You can see... Oh, by the way, that's the last tab. Really, theaters. And you have right now... We have Oberkommando West and Oberkommando des Heeres in Berlin, and the other one, in the west.
Right.
Just for the sake of the argument, I'm going to click on theater map mode to see the areas which they control right now. So the right part of the the eastern part of the country is under the command of Oberkommando des Heeres, and the western part is of course under Oberkommando West, which makes sense. But yes. Let's remove all, everything beyond, divisions of course will be in place. There's no point in deleting them. And of course the theaters will be left. But everything else, like, do you see the bigger squares with 3 X's on them? On the
yes.
map?
Yes.
Yeah, delete them. Disband the units.
Okay, so...
But not the one with 2 X's, because those are the divisions. But 3 X's indicate, an army corps, 4 X's indicate an army, 5 X's indicate an army group, and so on.
Okay. So disband unit.
Yes, on the 3 X's, so we can reform the army and organize them by ourselves instead of working with what the AI has put in place for us.
Okay.
So there we go. That's pretty much all there is. I mean, we shouldn't have. There's one left right now, and that's one there, and there was another one. A surprising amount. And yet another one. Okay, so this should be... We shouldn't have any army corps left on the map, I don't think. So everything should be free.
Right.
So how do you want to organize this?
Where do I start? Well, The thing is, I don't really know how it was organized before, so I don't like know what to change. Why did you want to change it like that? I mean, you say like it's because of the AI, but like, is there something wrong in what they?
Well, it's mostly because most of these, for example, if you click on an infantry brigade or a division anywhere in the country, you'll see that they have 3 brigades, for example. And we, of course, in the division designer, we wanted to have, an artillery.
Artillery, yeah.
So they're having some interesting combinations because there's no reason for the army to only have 3 in each, for example. And they also have some, I don't know, I just don't like the layout because some corps only have 1 brigade attached to, or division attached to them. Some have 5, some have 3, and so on. Well, we could, organize them to have more standardized, like 4 divisions for each, and then we could add in, all our light armors and things like that into a specialized, armored corps, I suppose. We specialize the corps in certain things.
Okay. I have another question actually.
Okay.
It says if I just click on, for example, the 4th Infantry Division, it says supplied from Berlin, and if I go to like a München unit or like a unit in Bavaria, it also says supplied from Berlin.
Yes.
But if I go to like East Prussia, which is like a separate part of our, I was going to say kingdom, but Reich,
Yes.
it says supplied from Königsberg. What like determines where it's supplied from? Are they sort of specific cities, or
No, it's a very good question because all supplies flow out of the capital, and from there spreads out. And for example, Königsberg is cut off from the capital. There's no land connection to them, so they can't be transported by railway. So that means that you have a convoy set up. And by the way, convoys should be automated in the start. Yes, they are. But we have a convoy that goes from Stettin to Königsberg, sending supplies. And that means that Königsberg is a new supply point for those units there because they're separated. So they're treated like a sort of separated land area since they're disconnected from the capital.
Right.
And that is true, for example, that's one of the biggest challenges of invading, for example, UK, because in, Victoria 2 or any other game, really, you can just send an army of 200,000 men over there. And magically they are supplied on their own, and this supplies is not really a thing in that game in the same way. Here you have to make sure that you have a supply convoy that can supply enough supplies to your troops while they are abroad, and make sure you have a beachhead available with a harbor that is capable of accepting these supplies and things like that. So it becomes complicated quite fast.
Okay, but let's say, just for the sake of argument, we happen to like invade Poland and we take the Danzig corridor, uniting our west, like our main Germany with our other Germany, Königsberg, and like East Prussia. If I click on a unit in East Prussia, will it then say Berlin?
Yes, it will.
Okay, so then it's changed. Okay, so it always like applies to the closest, biggest town, like considering or like under the condition that it's has like some kind of connection to the capital.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay. End of question. Each question takes like 20 minutes to answer because it's
more or less. But now there's the point of organizing the army, and since you have this whole order of battle, which, as I mentioned, there was a theater, there's army group, army corps, and then division, things like that. And each of them have a leader. So if you go for Oberkommando des Heers, right now is von Böhm how do you say that?
Maybe he's Italian. No,
maybe.
Yeah.
But he is, for example, this leader. So he has a defensive doctrine right now. So if you click on his name, you can see defensive doctrine. And those doctrines are orange, like Old Guard doesn't apply for everyone else, but defensive doctrine goes to every single division that is inside his command. So if he has two army groups, each of those 2 army groups have 2 armies, and a bunch of corps and then divisions. So he could have, say, for the sake of the argument, maybe 100 divisions under him later on when everything is connected up. That the defensive doctrine will flow to all divisions under his command. But since he is the theater, it will be halved. So maybe I think it is something like 2.5% or 1.25% instead of 10%. will, the single division get in the field later on, instead of the 10%. But if the same guy had been in command of a division, he would have the division would have the whole 10% of the defensive doctrine bonus, but it wouldn't apply. It would only apply to that division itself. If you follow what I mean, it's hard to explain.
Barely, yeah, okay, yeah.
But you have like maybe 5 leaders in the end. Each of them have various bonus. So he will have maybe defensive doctrine. Maybe someone under him will have offensive doctrine, and someone under him will have some other doctrine. And all of those bonuses will be bunched together for the division itself. Will have 5 leaders above it that will give it various bonuses.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm with you, because the thing is with the leader system, that's one of the things that feels most comfortable, because that feels quite similar to the other Paradox games, with the exception that you have now, as you say, like divisions and army corps to take into account.
Yes, and there's also one other thing, because when you see they have various skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the skill will have, I can't remember now, I looked it up before, just to refresh my memory. But I think, like, for example, at the core, or something like that, you will have, like, for each skill the leader has, all the units under him, like all the divisions, will have X amount, like if you have 5 skills, 5 in skill, all the divisions will have 5 extra organization, which is a stat for them, it's basically morale at this point.
Okay.
So it will have a bonus to that. And each army group, and like each skill the leader of the army group has, will increase the percentage chance. Because if you attack 5 divisions into one province, it will probably start with 2 of the divisions in combat or something like that. And then the rest of them will have a chance to reinforce. And the army group leader of those divisions will increase their chance of, reinforcing by, some percentage based on, how much skill, and so on. So they have more effects than just, the various modifiers from the traits. So the skills will be in effect there. But this is the thing where you can spend literally... You can spend 150 hours playing one single game, because you can do all of it in detail. Putting... for example, right now you have Guderian sitting in Kystrin with an infantry division. You could put him, you're having a whole army group with just armor if you want. If that's what you can design to have all these guys in an army group. And
it's just like a terrible waste to have Guderian in just like in an infantry division.
Yes, it is. And I'm surprised it doesn't have anything to do with tanks right now. But I'm guessing maybe that will come later.
But hang on. Okay, so one question: why? Okay, so skill is, skill, but like, so for example, Guderian has 5 skill, but is only a 1-star general. But why? Like, what's the point of promotions and stuff like that? Does he increase in something if we promote him?
No, the only thing is that he will be available for, you need the rank to, like, for example, only a field marshal can be in control of a theater. And so on.
Right.
So we could promote him all the way up to field marshal. It won't really affect him in any way. I think maybe he loses some experience, but doesn't have any to start with. He might be losing all the experience, but we could put him in, a theater command if we would like that. So that's the only thing that determines, I think. I'm not sure.
It feels like there should be something more to that, like demoting and promoting. But
it probably is, but I can't honestly remember.
Also, I like that von Rundstedt has 2 traits: offensive doctrine and defensive doctrine. You'd kind of think that those would take each other out, but yeah.
He's good at everything. He's good at everything,
yeah.
But yeah, what we want to do now is pretty much separate off, because we have, the 2 theaters, right?
Right.
So we want to basically reorganize them into 2 theaters, because all the units now are pretty much separate from the organization tree we had before. So we kind of need to reorganize them. So do you want to start with that, or should I?
Good lord. You can do it and kind of go through what you're doing.
Okay, so let's start on the easiest one, which is Königsberg and that area.
Right.
So right now we have 1 cavalry division, which is heavily undermanned. There's only 2 brigades in it. So basically, the only thing I have found a use for cavalry divisions is if you don't have armor to spearhead through, to take because cavalry is so much faster than infantry. So, for example, if you use infantry to break an army in a division in a province, then you can use the cavalry or armor to kind of break through and pierce into and take a lot of territory fast because they won't have any resistance. But basically, like they did in the Blitzkrieg when they pushed through so fast with the armor and took so much land that they kind of encircled the enemy. You can try to do that with the cavalry, but they're not very good fighting units, and they're very good though at, because for example when we take Poland, sometimes there will be the whole partisan thing, where there will basically be an uprising in some province, and it will it's pretty annoying to deal with. But cavalries are very fast and they're very good at dealing with partisans overall. But yeah, the cavalry division is pretty useless right now, so I'm gonna keep him out of it. But the other 3, you can select all 3 and then click on. Well, you see the whole selection screen here. And
merge.
there's a plus. No, not merge. Not merge, but there's a plus thing to above all the divisions. Do you see the plus? Is called create a high command or higher command.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
If you click that with all of them selected, you will create an army corps with all those 3 divisions in it from the start. Which is pretty nice. So right now you have an army corps right there. So honestly, to begin with, we had no need of actually deleting it, just more for the sake of the argument.
Yeah. Start from scratch.
Yes, so we have that right now has 3 divisions in it. Another thing which is, I guess I could say it right now. For example, if we add more divisions or we build more divisions and we want to deploy them, we can't deploy them in East Prussia immediately, since it's not connected to the capital. So we need to use transports to transport them to East Prussia, which is a bit of a pain in that.
Okay, one just spontaneous question again.
Yes.
If we go to the first Army Corps in Königsberg that we just selected,
yes.
It shows 2 bars on the different units. So the first headquarter brigade has, it seems, a strength of 50 out of 1,000. I suppose that's the yellow one.
Yes.
And organization 30 out of 42. What the hell does that mean?
Well, the strength is, how many people are in it. So the strength for a brigade, or an infantry brigade, for example, is 3,000 because there's 3,000 men in each brigade, so to speak. And in each headquarters is 1,000 men. But since it's newly created, it needs some time to, get reinforcements.
Yeah, okay.
So that will be, if you create a new headquarters at any point, that will happen. But yeah. So we can continue on like now with, if you go down to Silesia and Breslau, we have 3 brigades here too, so we can do the same thing there, make an army corps out of that. An army corps, I mean, not a corpse.
Yeah, the 3 infantry brigades.
Yeah, they now are under command of, second corps. You can rename them too, which I tried to do at first, but since you get so many, it's a pain in the ass to do it after a while.
Ah. Okay, like that.
Did you rename it?
Or
what did you do? Oh yeah,
right
you grouped up those 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ones up in, I suppose it is Mecklenburg or Pomerania. No, yeah, Pomerania. Those 3 as well into an army corps. There we go. So those are as well. Then there's some troops hiding in Berlin. Actually, that is what is this? Waffen SS Leibstandarte out of Hitler, something like that. They're hiding in. We can leave them in Berlin for now. They are trying to protect, the Führer or whatever, and take the ones, outside there. So now we have pretty much grouped up all units in the east into, what is it? 5. Wait, can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 corps, and now we can group all of them up in turn, if we want. So we can take. No, wait, that's wrong. We take all the ones in. Wait, where the hell did that go? There it is. We can take all 4 of these corps in the, that is in Germany proper and not in Königsberg, and then create an army. So now we have the first army and all those 4 corps that we just created are under that army. And then we can create a separate army for East Prussia, because we will add more corps to that later when we get, produce more troops. So it will be ready to handle more troops.
Okay, can I create the second army just so I get a hang? Oh, okay, you already did.
Well, you can create everything on the Eastern Front or Western Front if you want.
Western Front. Okay. Oh damn, barely know what I'm doing. Okay, so I guess you three up here. Should I have 3 infantry divisions in one?
You can have 4 infantry divisions if you want. I mean.
Okay, yeah, let's pick 4 for like the north here. Create a high command. Okay, 6 corps. And you can also be 4 in your little group. 7th corps. And okay, so how did I, if I wanted to make an army out of different corps, did I...
Then you select the corps themselves, and then select both.
But how do I select them both? Do I need
shift click?
Oh, shift click, okay. And then create a high command. Okay, 3rd army.
Yes.
Okay, so now we created those, and I want to assign more to that army. Let's see. What about all the... For example, we have a panzer division in... Würzburg.
Yes, we do.
Should I add that to the...
Well, it depends on what we want to do with the panzer division. Do we want to, have a panzer corps specifically with only panzers?
Yes, I think I would like that.
So then we should keep them out of
separate.
This right now. So
yeah,
I'm gonna start moving it on there.
Do that.
And if you want, you can try. This 8th corps we can try to add. We can add, for example, 2 more to it. Oh, sorry, I'm going to override your command. So right now, the 8th corps has 5 divisions.
Okay. Yes.
And then we can, you can just add some more from, nearby to the 9th corps, because now they only have 2 because I overrided your command. And I apologize.
Already we're having a power struggle.
Yes, exactly.
How do I add those to?
Yes, so you can. You see the attach this unit into the unit hierarchy. There's a green arrow right next to the create a new corps button. If you have selected a single infantry division.
Yes.
And then you have if you click on the ones that is in Ulm, for example. You know where Ulm is.
Oh yeah, you mean click on the map? Okay.
No, click on the division. There's a single division that is not attached to any corps or anything like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Under Lindemann. Yeah.
Yes, and then you click on attach this unit into the unit hierarchy, and then you can select HQ, and they are listed in according to.
Oh yeah, and then
proximity.
it says like the distance. So Stuttgart being the obvious choice here.
Yes.
9th Corps. Okay, so now he's a part of that. Okay, that makes sense.
That makes
good
sense.
Lord. Yeah, it's a lot of. Okay, I think I will.
I think each corps can have up to 5 divisions in it. I think that's the max.
Okay. He will also go to Stuttgart, and then we will create a separate one for München. You people will be in one higher command. Okay, like that.
It should be noted now that you have an mountaineer division.
Ah, well, it's all the same.
So yeah, we should add them into a new army. Those commands that you, or those corps that you already did.
Okay, yeah. The thing is, now I've forgotten which ones I haven't already put in an army.
Well, if you click on the core, you can see like there will come arrows that goes into the line of command. So if they, for example, the one in the 8th Corps, the 9th Corps, and there you have an army.
Already. Oh yeah, 4th army. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I accidentally created an army. Yeah.